I am the most hated person in the automotive industry. Hey guys, PJ here, founder of Exotic Car Hacks. And listen, in today's video, I want to talk about something pretty funny, which is ultimately why I am the most hated person in the automotive industry. And you may be wondering, well, wait, I don't hate you, PJ, or maybe you do. You probably do, because you're one of those trolls that gets on here that's talking to me about why I said these nuts in the first video and made you feel bad about not being able to afford an exotic. And then I'm trying to teach you again how to afford an exotic without losing any money. So you're probably confused right now. You're like, PJ, why are you insulting me and then telling me to buy your program and this? And I'm pretty pissed. And listen, I get it. I get it, but what you don't seem to get is basically why I am how I am. So in this video, I decided to break down basically why everybody hates PJ and ultimately have you understand why I do what I do and how I do it. So the first thing you should know is why the auto industry hates me. So basically every dealer out there just doesn't like me. And let me tell you why, but they depend on me. So here's the breakdown. First off, dealers for the longest time were making tons of money on exotic cars. $20, $30, $40, $50,000 a car. Can you believe that? $50,000 a car. So what changed? Well, the internet came along and two basic things happened. First off, people could compare listings from all over the US. Second off, people actually could get educated about what they were buying. They could watch blogs, they could watch YouTube channels, and more importantly, they could learn about the cars. And that was fantastic. So dealers should be happy. More educated people means more buyers, but it also means more educated buyers, and they didn't like that. Where I kind of came in and completely bursted their bubble was that I came out of nowhere and I basically started saying, listen, here's how dealerships work, here's how dealers make money, here's what your best cars are worth, here's the difference in cost, and here's how you pay the absolute minimum so you can drive for free. And basically what I did is I infiltrated the system by just basically sharing every little detail about how a dealership makes money and how you as a consumer can protect yourself. And so basically what I was doing is giving the power of owning these exotic cars back to people like me who love driving them and who didn't want to make them a financial burden. How often did we hear exotics are costly, exotics break down, exotics depreciate? Well, they do because you bought them wrong. They do because you overpaid. So the depreciation is brutal, right? And so we're changing that with Exotic Car Hacks. We now have almost 10,000 members that are in our group buying exotic cars. And if you think that's not a lot, then you definitely don't understand how the exotic car industry works as a whole. That's a lot of people. And a lot of people means a lot of leverage, and they don't like that. And one more thing happened with our group is we kept dealers accountable. We have blacklists of dealers you don't want to do business with, and we also have dealers you want to do business with. And so the dealers that screw people hate us because basically we're putting them on the spot. Look up other videos I have on this channel calling out certain dealers with 600, 700, 800,000 views to 2 million views per video. Basically saying how a dealer is scamming people. You don't think they notice these things? You don't think they don't like them? And that's why the auto industry, meaning those people, hate me. The other part, let's talk about why normal car enthusiasts hate me. So there's basically people who watch YouTube in hopes of learning about cars. And they don't like me for two basic reasons. First off, I diss 90% of the cars that exist because I'm a realist and I don't give a shit that I like Lamborghini or that I love a Ford GT. I can still talk about its downfalls. I can talk about why it sucks. I have so much money that I don't need to get endorsements from car manufacturers to pay me for YouTube. I've made my YouTube channel because I enjoy telling you the truth about cars. And the problem is some of you don't like hearing the truth because I'm shattering your dreams. I'm saying that the Lamborghini Huracan that you love so much, that you're working your ass off to get, is the world's biggest piece of shit. And I'm also then sitting there telling you that the Ferrari 430 is going to crumble to shit, or it's got a garbage gearbox, or this and that. And because I'm not a race car driver, that bothers you. That bothers you because I'm crushing your dreams and I'm making it seem like you're about to make a mistake. So that really, really bothers people. And a lot of car enthusiasts that watch this channel in hopes of hearing a great car review end up hearing the truth. And they don't like that because they often own the car or they want to feel like they're going to own it. And at some point, someone just ridiculed their dreams. And so that's the second part why I'm hated. The third and basic biggest reason, I should say, for why people hate me is basically that the majority of people are extremely jealous of the basic concept that I get to drive all these cars and not actually lose money. And so they believe that somehow there's a way to debunk the myths that I've shared, or to simplify them to say, well, he's just teaching you how to buy a car low and sell it high, which is the most inaccurate statement ever. You see, basically, jealousy works in a very simple state, and it's the state of not reaching what others have. So let me teach you a basic 101 on hating or hating people, being a hater, being jealous, and so on and so forth. And you might take this to yourself and talk to your friends about it, because I find it to be somewhat of an intelligent way to look at it. Let's say you walked up to someone who was extremely overweight and you called them fat. Would they get offended? Most likely. The only reason they wouldn't get offended is if they were going to the gym, working out every day, knowing they're fat, therefore trying to lose it. They wouldn't get offended because they have a path to actually not being fat, and they're on that path. So me reminding them of a truth is not upsetting them. However, if I told a fat person they're fat, when they don't have a path, they overeat, they can't control themselves, they're unhappy with who they are, where they are, what they are, and they don't want to change, then they take offense to it because they don't have a path to change. So self-realizing they're fat, or being told what's uncomfortable about their life, that they're uncomfortable with, that they're unconfident about, that they have insecurities about, will cause them to have a reaction of basically deflecting and basically trying to reject the notion by considering it an insult. And the same can be said for people that are poor. A lot of times when I'm talking about descriptions of cars, I mention social status, I mention money status, and that turns off a lot of people. They go, wait a minute, I'm not poor. Well, you're considered poor if you don't have financial freedom, and I'm pretty sure 90% of the people on YouTube don't have financial freedom. Not saying the YouTubers, I'm saying you, the people watching. And while a lot of you may be extremely well off, etc., or you might think you're well off when you're really not, bottom line is there's a lot of people watching that are not. And it offends them when they don't have a path to financial freedom. And so the way they fight that is by attacking what I'm doing. So the basic point is, if you can't afford exotic cars, you go, oh my God, this guy's a douche, he's a dick because he has all these cars, or he's buying these cars low, what a dick, he's doing that, he's fucking up the industry, blah, blah, blah. Basically, it's your way of fighting back when you have nothing to fight for. So you're worried about fighting things that just aren't relevant because they make you feel insecure by yourself. And so the basics of this is that if you're poor and you don't have a path to financial freedom, then you're going to feel attacked when someone calls you poor. The same when you're fat, if you don't have a path to actually losing weight, you're going to feel attacked when someone calls you fat. So the baseline of why I'm hated overall, basically by a lot of viewers or people on YouTube, is the baseline that I speak the truth in a very honest format. And that bothers a lot of people because no one likes to be reminded of where they are when they don't know where they're going. So basically, that's why I'm the most hated person when it comes to exotic cars or cars on the internet. But you know who doesn't hate me? The 10,000 plus people that are actually members, viewers, or watchers of Exotic Car Hacks and are getting value and actually saving money, making money, and getting themselves into a better financial position learning exotic car hacks. Because I don't have a single member who's actually gone through the system who complains about the value of the system. But I have a ton of people who have never even interacted with the system, seen the system, watched the system, or even been in my community talking a lot of shit. So that should basically give you a really good grasp on who and why you're hating on me. And that enables you the self-reflection to go and actually change. Now, for those of you that don't know, before Exotic Car Hacks, I actually hold a very large community of entrepreneurs and business owners called Secret Entourage. In Secret Entourage, I've also authored 12 books. One of my most famous books, called Third Circle Theory, teaches awareness, philosophy, psychology, and how the human mind evolves. Something that would blow your mind if you even knew someone like me wrote it. But basically, I recommend that some of you that watch this channel and have a weird view on yourself perhaps may want to visit that book instead of this channel and may find yourself in a better place in the next year or so. Because one of the most important parts about growth internally or externally is the ability to be self-honest, something many people are missing, probably including you. So I hope you've enjoyed this very bizarre but different type of video for Exotic Car Hacks. If you've liked it, give me a thumbs up. If it made you feel like shit about yourself, give me a thumbs down. But you should still subscribe and make me money no matter what you do, because you love me anyway. Somehow, deep in your heart, somewhere, I'm like a tender Care Bear and you love me. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys on the next Exotic Car Hacks video.